Happy Valentine's Day from Nicki Lee Bakes. Remember back in elementary school and you'd get those Power Ranger Valentines and stick them in the mailbox of everybody in your second grade class? That was how you do Valentine's Day. But couples these days tend to express their emotions through text and consequently emojis. So whether or not you want to use your Valentine's Day to re-emphasize your love for somebody, or perhaps reel in your future Netflix and chill buddy, these emoji cookies will help get your message across. Today I'm showing you how to make some of the typical romance emojis in sugar cookie form. We're going to make this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So here's what you'll need. A cutout sugar cookie recipe, a batch of yellow buttercream frosting, royal icing, and you're going to need red, black, pink, and white. So 4 piping bags, couplers, and piping tips. Circle and heart-shaped cookie cutters, parchment paper with tape, and some printouts of the emojis that you want to use. Now we're going to start by making the sugar cookies. Now the recipe that I used is nice and thick and it helps keep the cookies flat, so that's easier to put the frosting on after. I'll put that recipe down below. Start by rolling out your dough and try to get it as smooth as you can on top and roll it till it's about 1/2 inch thick. Then take your cookie cutters and cut them out. And the circle cutter is for all the emoji faces. And I have 1 big heart for the red heart and 2 smaller hearts for that double pink heart. And remember, you're going to need 3 of the circle cookies for each of the faces. Now you're going to bake your cookies at 350 for 8 to 10 minutes. And once they're out, you gotta let them cool. Like this. Next, you want to whip up your yellow buttercream frosting. Try to use a recipe that yields about 2 cups, and that should be enough to cover a few of the facial emojis. Then we're going to transfer it to a pan and smooth it all out, almost like it's cookies. Now when you level it out, try to make it as smooth as you can. Don't make it too thick or else it won't work. Once it's smoothed over, we're going to transfer it to the freezer and let it cool all the way through. Meanwhile, let's trace out our emoji facial features. You're going to take your printouts and tape them to the counter. Then you're going to take a sheet of parchment paper and tape that over the top. Now you want this one nice and flat too, or else you won't be able to see the pictures underneath it. I don't know why I said that so rude. I apologize for that. Lightly grease the areas where you're going to trace. Using your royal icing, trace the eyes, the mouth, the heart, the glasses, everything that's on that face. And if you have any areas you need to fill in, you can take a toothpick and just smooth the frosting around very lightly so that it fills in those little holes. And once everything's traced, make sure you let them dry completely. Now using the red and pink icing, we're going to color in our heart cookies. Now when you do this, you want to trace the outside and then flood it or fill it in. And then again, if you have any open spots, you can take a toothpick and just fill it in. And now for the faces. Using the same cutter we used for the cookies, we're going to cut out the frosting and it's going to keep it all the same size. You're going to use a spatula to scrape your circle up off the pan, but make sure that the frosting is completely frozen or it's going to turn into a mess. And then take it and stick it right on top of your cookie. Then you want to take a knife and just clean up the edges a little bit. And what's cool about the frosting being really cold is it's easier to work with. And then it's easier to smooth over the top. And the last part is to stick it on the facial features. Make sure you put it in the right spot or else it's going to look like poop. Or the poop emoji. Or else maybe it'll just autocorrect to say WTF. What's that face? I especially love this nerd one because nerds on Valentine's Day, they really try the hardest, don't they? Now I will end with a Valentine's Day poem. There once was an emoji named Steve who prayed for the girl of his dreams. He wrote her a letter and stitched her a sweater to discover she's not what he thinks. Don't be a Steve. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you enjoyed these. Subscribe to my channel for even more romantic goodies or other things, like baked things. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time.